Wake up, rise up, Mell, be on the line. News, weather, truth, she delivers on time. Affirm your power, let the doubt unwind. Kickstart your soul, let your purpose shine. She don't just talk, she sparked the flame from 7 to 8. She runs the game, Jamaica to New Orleans and all the world. The vibe don't sleep. Mell B drop gems while the world counts sheep. No fluff, no cap, just facts and fire. Affirmation flow that lifts you higher. Wake up, rise up, Mell B on the line. News, weather, truth, she delivers on time. Affirm your power.
Grand Rising, my beautiful kings and queens. It's your girl Mell B live on Lux Radio Network. And it's Thursday, February 5th, Throwback Thursday, where we set the tone, lift the spirit, and get your mind aligned before the world even knows you're up. Whether you're headed to work or getting the kids ready, or just easing into your morning routine, I want to walk you through this day with confidence, gratitude, and the quiet power that says, I'm built for this. So let us rise with intention, move with focus, and shine with something they can't duplicate. So welcome to your morning reset. Let's get into it. All right, first up, of course, we know is our affirmation of the day, and it goes as I read. I am a creator of my own reality. I honor the brilliance within me and allow my unique light to shine. Today, I contribute something beautiful to the world just by being authentically myself. All right, on to our word of the day, which is woe begone, which means strongly afflicted with woe or being woeful, exhibiting great misery or sorrow. That is not what we are going to be in today. We are not in a woeful mindset. All right, on to our urban slang word phrase of the day, which is locked in, meaning laser focused, fully committed with no distractions. When someone is locked in, they're tuned into the mission and nothing is going to pull them off course. Being locked in means you're mentally dialed up, spiritually aligned, and moving with purpose. It's the mode where you're not just working, you're executing. So this phrase is a reminder for you to protect your focus. When you're locked in, you're unstoppable. And today deserves that version of you. All right, on to our news headlines from around the globe. United States national headline news. First up, we have ICE warrantless arrest ruling. A federal judge has issued a preliminary injunction ruling that the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the ICE people, cannot make warrantless arrests in certain states, especially Oregon, unless there is a proven risk of escape. This is a major blow to the federal deportation strategies during this current shutdown. Next up, NASA fuel seal investigation. Engineers have identified the faulty quick disconnect seal as the cause of the Artemis 2 lunar fuel leaks. While a fix is underway, the delay has reignited the national debate on whether the U.S. will lose its lunar lead in international competitors. All right, city to city, starting with New York. The city's hemp retail market is facing a major overhaul as new data shows an influx of unregulated intoxicating products being sold in bodegas alongside traditional snacks. New York's community event today is Humorville on 164th Meserole Street in Brooklyn at 7 p.m. It's an immersive tourist attraction for the heart, focused on self-expression and setting community themes for 2026. Los Angeles. Los Angeles community leaders are pushing for a sanctuary expansion in response to the recent federal rulings on ICE, aiming to protect local immigrant families from warrantless home visits. Los Angeles community event today is 5 Blessing Scroll at Florence Library at 5 p.m. It's a Lunar New Year celebration for teens exploring the new cultural meanings of longevity, wealth, and health. Chicago. Chicago is leading a national discussion on Justice Reform 2026, specifically focusing on removing the 15-year statute of limitations for historical survivors seeking civil damages. Chicago's community event today is Have You Got Game? At Mount Greenwood Library at 5:30 p.m. A massive family game day featuring board games, physical challenges, and carnival-style activities. Atlanta. The Atlanta luxury perfume boom continues to grow, with the city council considering tax breaks for artisanal manufacturing businesses that produce olfactory compositions. Atlanta's community event today is Black History Month's coloring session at Evelyn Lowry Library at 4 p.m. A children's event focusing on the art and quotes of famous civil rights figures. Houston, a major hybrid course on human rights in theory and practice launched today at the Young Center, examining the historical impact of the UN Universal Declaration. Houston's community event today is the Human Rights Forum, of course, like I just mentioned, at the Young Center on Montrose Boulevard at 6 p.m. It will be an in-depth discussion on the historical and psychological underpinnings of global rights. Washington, D.C. The Supreme Court is preparing for a landmark decision on education equality cases from Alaska, which could fundamentally change how public schools are funded across the entire country. Washington, D.C. Community event today is the Folger Shakespeare Library public tour, a rare guided walkthrough of the newly renovated Capitol Hill landmark. Miami. North Miami is officially kicking off its 100th anniversary celebration month today, marking a century of rapid evolution from a tiny settlement to a major cultural hub. Miami's community event today is the Centennial Celebration Bass at Mocha Plaza at 5 p.m. A Carnivals Around the World themed event featuring music, food, and international carnival displays. Tampa. The Hillsborough Regional STEM Fair has officially begun, showcasing hundreds of local student inventions aimed at solving Florida's unique environmental challenges. Tampa's community event is the Busch Gardens Real Music Series, Busch Gardens Tampa, a live music showcase featuring national legacy arts performing classical and soft rock hits. Newport Richey. Good morning, Dad. The city's Citizen Advisory Committee is meeting tonight to discuss new riverfront revitalization permits for 2026 small business developments. Newport Richey's community event is the Citizens Advisory Committee meeting. It's going to be at the Port Richey City Hall at 6 p.m. And residents are encouraged to come and weigh in on neighborhood development issues. Milwaukee. Good morning, family. The Milwaukee's Food Freedom Initiative is under the spotlight as the city looks to expand community-led urban gardening programs to combat food deserts. Milwaukee's community event is the Food Freedom Annual Banquet, which is going to be at 3300 North MLK Drive at 6 p.m. It's an annual social event celebrating local urban farmers and community partners. Vancouver. Vancouver authorities are warning about a surge in rental scams targeting students, using AI to create fake property listings for non-existent luxury apartments. Vancouver's community event today is the Dr. Sun Yat-sen Garden Lunar Festival, continued nightly celebrations featuring traditional tea and lantern displays. Toronto. Toronto is hosting a national summit on sustainable construction, focusing on timber-built skyscrapers that are replacing steel and concrete in the city skyline. Toronto's community event is Design TO Festival workshops at various locations downtown, public hands-on sessions for urban planners and designers. Bless up Jamaica, Kingston. The Island Music Conference, or IMC, enters its heavy hitter phase today, discussing how Jamaican music icons can protect their intellectual property in the age of AI. Kingston's community event today is the Reggae Road Trip, a multi-day cultural touring honoring the greats of reggae history through live meet and greets and historical site visits. Montego Bay. Local tourism boards are celebrating a record-breaking winter sun season, specifically seeing a 15% increase in visitors from the UK and Europe. Montego Bay's community event is the Sunset Beach Gathering, a popular winter tradition for locals and visitors to gather and watch the fiery skies over the turquoise waters. Ocho Rios. Authorities in St. Anne are finalizing plans for the Heritage Market expansion, which will provide a permanent home for local artisans to sell to cruise passengers. Ocho Rios community event today is the Ocho Rios Jazz Showcase. Various location venues are hosting midweek jam warm-ups in preparation for the upcoming festival season. And Negril. The Negril West End Love Bus has officially become a government-endorsed cultural experience, cited for its role in supporting small businesses away from the beach. Negril's community event is the Negril's Makers Market, Arthur's Beach Bar at 9 a.m., the gathering of local craftsmen, producers, and artisans. Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands Art Festival officially opens today at Harquail Theater, featuring its most diverse program yet with jazz, flamenco, and vocal performances. Cayman Islands community event today is the Cayman Arts Festival Opening Night, a celebration of global styles featuring international and local collaborations. Nassau, Bahamas. The Experience Nassau Like a Local campaign is reporting a huge uptick in tourists visiting Junkanoo Beach, moving away from the typical all-inclusive resort stays. Nassau's community event is the Junkanoo Beach Community Chill, a daily open-air gathering for visitors to relax and network with Bahamian artisans. Nigeria. The InDrive platform is hosting a nationwide celebration today to honor top drivers across Nigeria, recognizing their roles in the country's transportation infrastructure. Nigeria's community event is InDrive Driver Celebration. There will be awards and networking for local transport professionals. And this will be in Lagos and Abuja. Ghana. A major spring campus tour initiative has launched across Ghana's top universities to attract international students for the 26-27 academic year. Their community event is the Spring 2026 Campus Tour in Accra and Ho locations, public open houses for families and prospective international students. The Netherlands. Amsterdam is hosting monthly community drinks at the Startup Village, bringing together the city's top tech founders and European inventors. This will be in Amsterdam at 5 p.m. In Vietnam, Hanoi's Tet Reunion markets are slowly transitioning back to regular business today as the official Lunar New Year break concludes and the spring trade season begins. Their community event is Hanoi Spring Trade Fair, a massive outdoor market opening today to kickstart post-tech economic activity. And France. The Aragon Cultural Center is celebrating French musical heritage today with a major live performance by renowned singer-songwriter Arthur H. France's community event is the Arthur H. Live, Aragon Cultural Center in Oyono at 8:30 p.m. A showcase of contemporary French piano, rock, and storytelling. All right, on to our weather forecast, starting with New York. It will be sunny today with a high of 30 and a low of 18. Los Angeles will be cloudy today with a high of 79 and low of 62. Chicago, snow showers today with a high of 29 and a low of 20. Atlanta, mostly cloudy today with a high of 45 and a low of 32. Houston, sunny today with a high of 64 and a low of 44. Washington, D.C., sunny today with a high of 38 and a low of 24. Miami, light rain today with a high of 74 and a low of 47. Tampa, light rain today with a high of 58 and a low of 43. Newport Richey, sunny today with a high of 54 and a low of 46. Milwaukee, light snow today with a high of 31 and a low of 20. Vancouver, rain today with a high of 51 and a low of 41. Toronto, cloudy today with a high of 24 and a low of 16. Kingston, scattered thunderstorms today with a high of 83 and a low of 72. Montego Bay, scattered thunderstorms today with a high of 80 and a low of 74. Ocho Rios, scattered thunderstorms today with a high of 82 and a low of 75. And Negril, heavy rain today with a high of 81 and a low of 77. Cayman Islands, light rain today with a high of 79 and a low of 72. And Nassau, light rain with a high of 74 and a low of 63. Nigeria, cloudy today with a high of 99 and a low of 71. Ghana, mostly cloudy today with a high of 99 and a low of 75. Netherlands, cloudy today with a high of 40 and a low of 30. Vietnam, cloudy today with a high of 72 and a low of 63. And France, cloudy today with a high of 54 and a low of 44. Good morning, brother-in-law. How are you? Be careful with that rain today. All right, on to our sports. In the NFL, today we have the NFL Honors Red Carpet Show at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NFL Network because there is going to be the NFL Honors 2026. While there's no games tonight, it is the biggest night off the field. Hosted by John Hamm, the NFL will announce the MVP, the Coach of the Year, and the 2026 Hall of Fame class. This will be showing at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NBC, NFL Network, and Peacock. All right, on to the NBA. In last night's scores, we have the Knicks over the Nuggets, 134 to 127 in double OT. We have the Timberwolves over the Raptors, 128 to 126. The Bucks over the Pelicans, 141 to 137. The Celtics over the Rockets, 114 to 93. The Spurs over the Thunder, 116 to 106. The Grizzlies over the Kings, 129 to 125. And the Cavaliers over the Clippers, 124 to 91. Tonight in the NBA, we have the Nets and the Magic at 7 p.m. on YES Network, FanDuel Sports Network, Florida. There's also the Wizards and the Pistons, also at 7 p.m. They'll be on FanDuel Detroit and Monumental Sports Network. The Bulls and the Raptors are at 7:30 on Sportsnet Canada and Amazon Prime Video. The Jazz and the Hawks will be at 7:30 p.m. on FanDuel Southeast and KJZZ. The Hornets and the Rockets are at 8 p.m. on FanDuel Southwest and FanDuel Southeast. Spurs and the Mavericks are at 8:30 on FanDuel Southwest, and the Warriors and the Suns are at 10 p.m. on NBA TV, FanDuel Arizona, and NBC Sports Bay Area. And last, we have the 76ers and the Lakers at 10 p.m. as well on Sportsnet LA and NBC Sports Philly. In Jamaican soccer, from yesterday, we have Mount Pleasant over Cavalier 1-0, and Waterhouse and the Dunby Holden game is postponed due to the heavy rainstorms that were affecting the island yesterday. So a date hasn't been reset for that one as of yet. However, tonight, this afternoon, Dunby Holden will go up against the Spanish Town Police at 3 p.m. on Sportsmax and TVJ Sports. Hold on. What is this? I don't know what that is. I can't get this off my screen. Grand Rising, Jessica. Grand Rising, GBG. Sorry, I don't know your real name, but Grand Rising, y'all. All right, on to our daily feature, which is Throwback Thursday. And today's spotlight is the earliest conductors of freedom. Today we're throwing it back to the 1700s and early 1800s. We all know the legendary Miss Harriet Tubman, the Moses of her people. But today we want to honor the earliest often nameless conductors who built the foundation of the Underground Railroad long before Harriet ever took her first trip. Freedom wasn't just a 19th century idea. From the moment the first ships arrived, there were Maroons, groups of enslaved people who escaped into the swamps of the South and the mountains of Jamaica to form secret free societies. These were the first stations. We have to mention figures like Josiah Henson, who escaped from Kentucky to Canada in 1830 and later helped 118 others reach freedom. Or Mary Ellen Pleasant, a Black woman who passed for white to work in high society houses, using the secrets she overheard and the money she made to fund abolitionists like John Brown. These early heroes used the drinking gorge, the Big Dipper, and coded songs like Wade in the Water to build an intelligence network that was more sophisticated than the government's own systems. Grand Rising there. They didn't have GPS or cell phones. They had faith, the stars, and a deep-seated belief that no human was born to be owned. So today we throw it back to those original disruptors. They didn't just wait for freedom, they mapped it out. So let's carry that same strategic mind into our businesses today. All right, although we are on our book club segment of The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter Woodson, although we did finish the last chapter yesterday, we are just going to do a summary or the backdoor philosophy, as he calls it. So we're closing the book with Woodson's appendix and final physiological notes. This is where we find his most famous observation. He says, if you can control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his actions. He explains that if you make a man feel inferior, you don't have to compel him to seek a back door. His very nature will lead him to find one. Woodson's perspective is that mental liberation is the only true liberation. You can be physically free. You can have a high-paying job, but if your mind is still programmed to believe you are less than, you will always be a prisoner. He wants us to realize that we often cut a back door for ourselves out of habit. Applying this is a mental exercise. Identify one of the limiting beliefs you have about your potential. Where did it come from? Did you decide that, or was it taught to you by a system that needed you to stay in your place? Once you realize that a belief was taught, you realize it can be unlearned. So today, stop looking for the back door. Walk through the front like you own the building. You have the permission of your ancestors to be great. All right, on to our cause of the day. Our cause of the day is sickle cell crisis awareness. Today's cause focuses on the painful episodes experienced by people living with sickle cell disease. Sickle cell is the genetic blood disorder that causes red blood cells to become stiff, sticky, and shaped like a crescent or a sickle. These misshapen cells can block blood flow, leading to severe pain, organ damage, and increased risk of infection. A sickle cell crisis, also known as a pain crisis, can be triggered by dehydration, cold temperatures, stress, illness, or even high altitudes. The pain can occur anywhere in the body and may last for hours or days. For many patients, these crises are unpredictable and require emergency medical care. Rest in heaven, Miss B. Sickle cell disease primarily affects people of African descent, but it also impacts people from the Caribbean, South America, the Middle East, and parts of India and the Mediterranean. In the United States, about 100,000 people live with this condition. Treatment during crisis includes hydration, oxygen therapy, pain management, and sometimes blood transfusions. Long-term treatments include hydroxyurea, which reduces the frequency of crisis, and new gene-based therapies that offer promising results. So prevention focuses on avoiding triggers, staying hydrated, managing stress, avoiding extreme temperatures, and keeping up with vaccinations. For more resources and information, please contact your doctor. And also there's the Sickle Cell Disease Association of America. All right, on to today in history. In 1922, Reader's Digest publishes its first issue. The magazine debuts and quickly becomes one of the most widely read publications in the world, known for its condensed articles and global reach. And in 1934, Hank Aaron was born. The baseball legend breaks Babe Ruth's home run record despite facing intense racism, becoming one of the most respected athletes in history. All right, in our African American history, in 1994, conviction in the Medgar Evers case. 30 years after the assassination of civil rights leader Medgar Evers, white supremacist Brian De La Beckwith is finally convicted, marking a historic moment for justice in Mississippi. In 1986, Oprah Winfrey's show goes national. Oprah becomes the first Black woman to host a nationally syndicated talk show, transforming American media and opening doors for future Black broadcasters. And in 1968, Memphis sanitation workers continued their strike. Black sanitation workers demanded fair wages, safe working conditions, and human dignity. Their struggle draws national attention and brings Dr. King to Memphis. All right, and our African American scientists and inventors. First up, we have Dr. Shidi Jagan of Guyana, he was a dental surgeon and public health reformer. Before becoming Guyana's president, Jagan used science and dentistry to improve public health access for working class Caribbean families. Next up, we have Dr. Yvonne Clark of the Virgin Islands, a mechanical engineer. A pioneer at Tennessee State University, Clark became the first woman engineer at the institution and mentored generations of Black engineers. And last, we have Dr. Thomas Leckie of Jamaica. Leckie developed the Jamaica Hope breed, a heat-tolerant, high-producing dairy cow that transformed Caribbean agriculture. Hopefully I said that right, Run-Law. All right, back to Roots segment today. We are spotlighting African rituals and ceremonies. First up, libation rituals across Africa. Libation, the pouring of water or drink, honors ancestors and invites spiritual presence. It is practiced among the Akan, Yoruba, Igbo, Congo, and many others. The act symbolizes connection, gratitude, and continuation between generations. Next up, we have Yoruba and Gungun masquerade in Nigeria. And Gungun ceremonies honor ancestral spirits who return through masked dancers. These performances bless the community, settle disputes, and remind people of their moral responsibilities. And last, Himba ancestral fire ritual in Namibia. I'm going to get that right. Mbediwa. Okay. The Himba maintained a sacred fire called Okoruwa, believed to connect the living with ancestors. Families gather around the fire for guidance, healing, and major life decisions. These are all just rituals and ceremonies from Africa that they are still using today. All right, down the rabbit hole. This was a question that I have asked myself many days, and it's how did different skin colors develop? If all humans came from Africa, I don't want to say if, but that's the question. How did we end up looking so different? So today we're exploring the science behind human skin color, one of the most misunderstood topics in history. All humans originated in Africa. Early humans had dark skin rich in melanin, a pigment that protects against UV radiation. In equatorial regions, dark skin was essential for survival. It prevented DNA damage, skin cancer, and folate depletion, and all critical for reproduction. But when humans migrated out of Africa into Europe and Asia, sunlight levels changed. In low UV environments, dark skin blocked too much sunlight, making it harder for the body to produce vitamin D. Over thousands of years, natural selection favored lighter skin in northern regions. But here's the twist. Skin color evolved many, and multiple times in different populations. It's not a straight line, it's a mosaic. Some of the darker skin tones in the world are found in India and Melanesia, not just Africa. Some of the lightest skin tones evolved in Europe and East Asia independently. Features like hair texture, eye shape, and body type also evolved based on climate, diet, and genetic drift. So race, as we think of it today, is a social invention, not a biological one. So genetically, humans are 99.9 identical. So here's the rabbit hole. Skin color is one of the youngest human traits. It changed rapidly and it's still changing. Human diversity isn't a story of separation, it's a story of adaptation. So now we kind of get a glimpse of how the different skin tones evolved. All right, on to our fact or fiction for today. First up, we got first claim, Black cowboys didn't exist. Fiction. Up to 1 in 4 cowboys in the American West were Black. Many were formerly enslaved men who became skilled horsemen and ranchers. But Hollywood erased Black contributions to Western history because of race. Second claim, there's a secret military base under the Denver airport. Fiction, but fueled by strange design choices. The airport's unusual murals, underground tunnels, and massive size sparked rumors. Investigations show the tunnels are for baggage systems, not bunkers. So it shows how secrecy plus strange art equal a conspiracy fuel. And last, the government once poisoned alcohol during Prohibition. This is a fact. To discourage illegal drinking, the U.S. government ordered industrial alcohol to be denatured with toxic chemicals, and thousands of people died. It's a chilling example of policy gone wrong. And that's a nice way of putting it. All right, on to our tech tip of the day, which is breaking the backdoor algorithm. Reset your social media explore page. Why? Following Woodson's philosophy, if the algorithm is showing you drama and backdoor behavior, you have to retrain it how to show you excellence. So go to your Instagram or your YouTube settings and find clear search history or not interested. Spend 5 minutes liking only educational, historical, or business-related content. And within 24 hours, your feed will shift from distraction to education. All right, and our tech tip of the day, finance tip, is the rule of 72. Calculate how long it takes to double your money. This is a classic math trick used by wealthy families for generations. If you take the number 72 and divide it by your annual interest rate, the result is the number of years it will take for your investment to double. So how to use it? If you have an investment earning 8% annually, divide 72 by 8. In 9 years, your money will double without you adding another dime. Use this throwback math to decide if an investment is actually worth your time and your money. All right, on to our fun fact of the day. The drinking gourd wasn't for water. The famous song, Follow the Drinking Gourd, was actually a coded GPS map for enslaved people seeking freedom. The drinking gourd refers to the Big Dipper constellation, which points directly to the North Star. The lyrics of the song contain specific landmarks like the Tombigbee River and the Tennessee River, telling freedom seekers exactly which way to travel and what signs to look for at different times of the year. And our fun holiday of the day is it's National Weather Person's Day. This date was chosen to commemorate the birthday of John Jeffries, born in 1744. Jeffries was one of America's first weather observers, and he even took the first balloon flight for the purpose of gathering weather data. This holiday honors all people who work in meteorology, from the folks on your local news to the scientists at the National Weather Service. It's a day to recognize that even when they get the forecast wrong, they are using complex science to try and keep us safe from these elements. All right, on to our daily quote. And I quote, "Success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed." End quote. That quote came from Mr. Booker T. Washington, an American educator, author, and advisor to several presidents. He was the dominant leader in the African American community between 1890 and 1915, and the founding principal of Tuskegee Institute. All right, on to our music and entertainment for today. Our focus today is Sam Cooke. We're throwing it back to the first artist to truly understand the back door of the music industry. Cooke was one of the first Black artists to found his own record label, SAR Records and Publishing Company. He knew that if he didn't own the paper, he didn't own his life. Every artist from Jay-Z to Beyonce is following the Sam Cooke blueprint. Sam Cooke wasn't just the king of soul, he was the king of the contract. He refused to be miseducated about his value. So on this Throwback Thursday, we honor the man who taught us that the pen is mightier than the microphone. All right, on to celebrity gossip. Tyler Perry's Netflix takeover. Tyler Perry is officially moving his studios to the cloud. He announced a massive 3-film deal with Netflix for 2026 and more in the future for a total of 8 films. The deal includes 72 Hours, starring Kevin Hart and Tiana Taylor, and Animals, starring Kerry Washington. Perry is also set to release Joe's College Road Trip on streaming later this month. Tyler Perry is playing the long game with Netflix. He's got Kevin Hart, Tiana Taylor, and Kerry Washington all under his umbrella this year. He's building his own new program, just like Woodson talked about. Love him or hate him, the man knows how to close a deal. All right, on to our celebrity birthdays. Today we got New Edition member and solo superstar Bobby Brown is 57. We are giving a heavenly birthday to Mr. Hank Aaron, baseball's legend and Hall of Famer, one of the greatest ever to play the game. Also, we have multi-platinum rapper known for 2 Phones and his Louisiana root storytelling, Kevin Gates is 40. TV personality, author, and former political aide, Omarosa Newsom is 52. And comedian and actor, one of the longest running cast members on Saturday Night Live, Tim Meadows is 65. And also Afrobeat superstar and global music powerhouse, Tiwa Savage is 46. An NBA player known for his athleticism and scoring ability, Terrence Ross is 35. All right, on to our lifestyle segment. Today, our soul food recipe is baked black pepper and lemon pepper catfish with blueberry antioxidant smoothie. Oh, there's those chia seeds and almond milk, blueberries, and yogurt. Okay. All right. Men, have you made that appointment yet? Have you made that appointment to go to the doctor for your annual checkups? Especially if you're over 40, please start making those appointments today. Your health tip of the day is prioritize sleep. Get at least 7 to 8 hours, which support hormone balance and mental clarity. Men, your fashion tip today is upgrade your belt. Match leather color to your shoes for a polished look. And women's health beauty tip today, start a nighttime retinol routine for smoother, brighter skin. Your women's fashion tip of the day is knee-high boots add height and winter elegance. And may I also add, they are very sexy. Our household chore of the day is sanitize remote controls and light switches. These are the most touched surfaces in the home, so use the disinfecting wipes or cloth with rubbing alcohol. It helps reduce the spread of germs, especially since it's cold and flu season. All right, women, our Auto Mechanics 101 for the day is understanding dashboard warning lights. So if you see something that comes up yellow, that's caution. It means get it checked soon. Red, immediately get it checked out. It stands for immediate attention. And if you can't stop driving, if you're safe, because you don't know what that is. If there's any flashing lights means it's urgent. So understanding your dashboard headlights isn't about being a car person. It's about being a safe driver. It's about safety, confidence, and control. You deserve all three every time you get behind that wheel. All right. In relationship advice for couples today is celebrate small wins together. It builds positivity and connection. In friendships, respect your friend's time. Confirm plans instead of assuming. I know someone will want me to repeat that. So respect your friend's time. Confirm plans ahead of assuming. And for families, create a no phone dinner tonight for real conversation. Get back to being connected. All right, in our Before They Were Legends, I want to spotlight I wanted to spotlight Miss Whitney Houston. Before she became The Voice, Whitney Houston was a shy church girl from Newark, New Jersey. She grew up singing in New Hope Baptist Church, surrounded by gospel royalty, her mother, Sissy Houston, her cousin, Dionne Warwick, and the legendary Aretha Franklin. But Whitney didn't see herself as a superstar. She was awkward, tall, and soft-spoken. She wanted to be a model, not sing. She worked in a mall. She did teen photo shoots. She was just trying to find her lane. Then one night, while singing backup for her mother in a small club, a record executive heard her. One song changed everything. So before she was a legend, she was a young woman with a once-in-a-generation gift, a gift she didn't even realize the world was waiting for. All right, last but not least, our daily horoscopes, starting with Aries. A bold move pays off. Trust your instincts. Your lucky numbers today are 3, 14, and 27. Taurus, comfort and stability guide your choices. Choose what feels grounded. Your lucky numbers today are 6, 12, and 25. Gemini, a conversation shifts your perspective. Stay open. Your lucky numbers today are 5, 18, and 30. Cancer, home energy improves. Rearranging or cleaning brings peace. Your lucky numbers today are 2, 11, and 29. Leo, your charisma is unmatched today. Use it wisely. Your lucky numbers today are 1, 17, and 33. Virgo, productivity flows. Check off lingering tasks. Your lucky numbers today are 4, 16, and 28. Libra, a relationship strengthens through honesty. Speak your truth. Your lucky numbers today are 7, 15, and 31. Scorpio, a mystery unravels. Trust the process. Your lucky numbers today are 8, 19, and 32. Sagittarius, a new idea sparks excitement. Explore it. Your lucky numbers today are 10, 21, and 34. Capricorn, discipline brings results. Stick to your plan. Your lucky numbers today are 13, 12, 20, and 35. Aquarius, creativity peaks. Express yourself boldly. Your lucky numbers today are 9, 22, and 27. And Pisces, your intuition guides you to the right choice. Your lucky numbers today are 6, 14, and 24. Now is the time that we thank our sponsors. First up, we have Bello Burn Hot Sauce. Bold taste, big kick. Bello Burn keeps the city spicy. And RAS Herbals. Natural remedies, real results. RAS Herbals keeps the community grounded. And Calorine candles, soft light, strong energy. Calorine candles elevates every space. And Universal Madness, the official sponsor of the Chief and Go Show. Style with a statement. Universal Madness keeps the culture fitted. And in morning announcements today, please don't forget to watch our Chief and Go show for everything go-go tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Lux Radio Network and luxradio.com. All right, this is another day in the books, y'all, and you will handle it with grace. So until tomorrow morning, family, this your girl Mel B saying stay looking like a boss. Stand on all 10 in your own truth and don't let nobody tilt your crown. Period.